What's up guys, TriStar Pictures 82 back again, and for this video I'm going to be doing my Sony Pictures Home Entertainment Blu-ray collection. Now I've got quite a couple of more Blu-rays since my last Blu-ray update video, and I'm gonna show them off right here. Alright, and let's get started. Starting off with Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, released in 2009 by Columbia Pictures and Sony Pictures Animation. And it's a pretty good animated film, one of my favorites of 2009. And as you can see, there's the Blu-ray disc and the DVD copy it comes with. Alright, next is another favorite of mine, Planet 51, released in the same year, 2009, by TriStar Pictures. I went to see this about like twice when it was in theaters, and it was pretty good. You know, pretty good animated film. There's the Blu-ray disc, and I don't have the digital copy in here right now, but yeah. There we go. Next is Bad Boys, starring Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, released in 1995 by Columbia Pictures, and you know, it's a pretty funny movie, of course. You know, if you of course all of you guys are familiar with the Cops theme. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Well, anyways, here's the Blu-ray disc, and there we go. That side. Next up is Grown Ups, released in 2010 by Columbia Pictures, and it stars Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Chris Rock, David Spade, and Rob Schneider. Yep, it's a pretty good comedy film about these guys who are all childhood friends, and they have this little reunion where they get to like relive their childhood, you know, memories, and you know, they have kids of their own, and yep, you know, it kind of reminds me of Daddy Daycare a bit. But yeah, and there's the Blu-ray disc. Next up I have here is The Green Hornet, starring Seth Rogen, released I believe earlier this year by Columbia Pictures, if I'm not, yeah, it was released earlier this year, and I went to see this when it was in theaters, and it was really good, you know. Now I heard that the original version of the Green Hornet had actually had Bruce Lee as the Asian dude right there. So that was pretty interesting to find out. Here, let me get it out. Yep, and there it is. And there's the Blu-ray disc right there. Next up is Heavy Metal, an animated film released in 1981 by Columbia Pictures. And Heavy Metal is a animated film that has used different kinds of animators from all over the world, and it's a pretty, like, you know, it's pretty violent and gory, and you know, a lot of nudity in it, and it's pretty awesome as well, you know, and a bunch of early 80s rock music, and yep, it's a all-around good anime film. And there's the Blu-ray disc. And there we go. Okay, next, I just recently got this one, and it's Boys in the Hood. This just came out on Blu-ray about like a week ago, I believe, and yeah, This movie was released in 1991 by Columbia Pictures, and it's a really good gangster film. You know, one of my favorites about, you know, it really shows about life in the ghetto and all that stuff, you know. And there's the Blu-ray disc. And right, next one is Casino Royale, the 2006 James Bond film with Daniel Craig. Now, I have all the other James Bond Blu-ray releases, all the other Bond films that came out on Blu-ray, and the ones that hadn't came out on Blu-ray yet, I heard they're going to be released on Blu-ray next year, along with the release of Bond 23 in theaters. But yeah, now this Blu-ray disc of Casino Royale, this is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack, which this was released earlier this year. I mean, the original Blu-ray release of Casino Royale was in 2007, but yeah, this is a re-release with the DVD in it. As you can see, there's the Blu-ray disc, and that's the DVD right there. Yep. Right. Next one is Short Circuit 2 with Johnny 5, the robot. Now, I still like the first Short Circuit better, but this one was alright. This movie came out 2 years after the first one in 1988 by TriStar Pictures. And now this Blu-ray release was actually released by Image Entertainment, which they were releasing a few of the other Columbia or TriStar movies from the 80s on Blu-ray, a few of them, you know, and this was just one of them. And there's the Blu-ray disc. Alright. Next one is The Quick and the Dead, a 1995 Western film released by TriStar Pictures. And it's got Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, and Leonardo DiCaprio from Titanic. And of course he was in Inception, which that was a pretty good movie. Yep. And there's the Blu-ray disc. Right. Okay. Next one is one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, and that is Jumanji. You know, this also recently came out on Blu-ray. You know, and this movie was released in 1995 by TriStar Pictures, and you know, it was a really good film, you know, about this, you know, board game, and you know, they get trapped in a world where these, you know, animals go into the, well, you guys probably know about it, but yeah, this is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack. And there's the Blu-ray disc and the DVD right there. But yeah, Jumanji, one of my favorite movies as a kid, and you know, I was pretty excited that this had just came out on Blu-ray. You know, along with Zathura, released 10 years later in 2005, and you know, both Jumanji and Zathura both take place in the same exact universe, which is pretty cool, you know. Next one is District 9, released in 2009 by TriStar Pictures. You know, about this, you know, alien segregation in South Africa, and they try to get rid of the aliens there, and I heard that there's gonna be a sequel coming out maybe next year or something. It's gonna be called District 10, but you know, I look forward to that one. And Let me get the... Alright, there we go. There's the case. And there's the Blu-ray disc. And the digital copy disc right there. Alright. Next one is Dwayne Johnson in Faster. This movie came out last year by TriStar Pictures and CBS Films. And I went to see this in theaters, and you know, it was a pretty good action film. You know, it's got Dwayne Johnson, you know, and Billy Bob Thornton. And there's the Blu-ray disc. And my last one is Resident Evil Afterlife 3D. And this film came out last year by Screen Gems, and this is the Blu-ray 3D edition release. Now, I don't have a Blu-ray 3D TV yet, but you know, if I ever do get one, I'll see what the 3D feature is like. I mean, the disc also has the 2D version, which that's the only version I can play on my PS3 since I need the 3D TV to play it. But yeah, you know, Resident Evil Afterlife, I went to see this in theaters, and well, it was alright. It's not really the best Resident Evil film, but it was alright though. And there's the Blu-ray disc. And so yeah, that's my Sony Pictures Entertainment Blu-ray collection, and I'll be back with more stuff. Alright, this is TriStar Pictures 82, signing off. Bye.